Ronnie Montgomery 361. This might be the best question anyone has asked me ever. And I have an answer, and I'm very confident about my answer because I have researched this topic for 17 years. First, we're always manifesting. It's an involuntary act. But when we don't do it consciously, we screw our lives up. Unless a person works at co-creating their world their way with the universe every single day, they're probably unconsciously creating people, places, and things they don't want. Now, although manifestation is something we all do naturally, some of us need to be taught, and I was one of those people. Second, things don't change in the world because of old beliefs. Now, when I make this next statement, please know I'm coming from a place of wisdom, not judgment. Most people are not self-aware, and they don't realize they attach meanings to their life experiences, and those meanings and stories we create are not true, but they guide our lives and dictate our behaviors. Limiting beliefs are absolute killers of happiness and keepers of the status quo. Now think about this. How much time and money has been spent on legislation and social programs to help people living in poverty? The government keeps doing the same thing over and over again, and people still live in poverty. That's insanity. For example, food stamps are a wonderful resource for people in poverty. But have you ever known of anyone who escaped poverty because of food stamps? But have you ever known of someone who escaped poverty because they changed their mindset and used their free will to consciously create a world that was abundant? I know plenty of people who have done this. We need to be focusing on mindset. Moving on to the third thing. In order to change the world for the better, viewing this topic through the lens of manifestation only, we would have to create a collective consciousness. Now, my professor, Dr. Deepak Chopra, who is the #1 most influential spiritualist in the world right now, claims we need to have 1 billion people meditating in order to bring about peace and less suffering. Successfully creating a collective consciousness would raise the energy to a vibration that matches love, health, wealth, and peace, okay? Now, this is something the government hasn't been successful in accomplishing. Any piece of legislation that has ever been written to bring about peace and less suffering really has not worked. And it's time to stop the madness and try something new. Do I think it's possible? Sadly, no, I don't, because it would require a massive amount of people to understand how manifestation actually works. It would also require a massive amount of people to unlearn everything they have been taught throughout their entire lives. It's not easy. Okay, meditation activates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest system. Meditation takes you out of the daily activities of society and into silence. Doing this once or twice daily reduces inflammation from the body because it releases toxins that are associated with those stressors brought on by our daily interactions with society. There are too many people who never turn on their parasympathetic nervous system because they stay in fight or flight all day, every day. That is what makes people sick, irritated, broke, and unhappy. Meditation brings peace, calmness, and clarity. How does a person behave who is peaceful, calm, and thinks clearly? Now, think about a person who is in fight or flight all the time. How do they behave? There is a distinctive difference between these two types of people, and I have been both. I'm here to tell you that the peace and the calm is worth its weight in platinum. I will never go back to being in fight or flight all the time. Where you stand energetically determines what you manifest. So if a person is irritated, hostile, and exhausted all the time, their energy matches to people, places, and things that resemble their irritation, hostility, and exhaustion. But the person who consciously creates meditates instead of retaliating, they have more control over their emotions, so they choose peace and calmness. Peace and calmness attract more people, places, and things that resemble peace and calmness. The quote that woke me up was from Wayne Dyer. He said, "Hostile people live in a hostile world. Peaceful people live in a peaceful world." Same world. My world was beyond hostile when I heard him say that, and I decided to start choosing peace. It wasn't long before my world looked a lot better than what it had in the past. If 1 billion people adopted this belief system, the world would change, because we attract what we are, not what we want, what we are. The condition the world is in is the result of a vast majority of the population choosing to live in lower energies. Plus, society is designed to make us worry, and worrying is the same damn thing as praying for what you don't want. So if the majority worries, they're manifesting trouble, chaos, scarcity, and everything that makes life miserable. My 2 cents.